Good morning, everybody. I'm Ellie Morris, and this is What's Real in Real Estate. Man, I'm excited. This is where we talk about what's really happening in the real estate market in Southern Nevada and really throughout the whole country. I got a great guest today, Billy Alt, one of the good guys in this town. I'm excited for you to meet him in a minute. First, I'm going to go through our market update. The numbers are getting better all the time. We're up to 1,950 single-family homes. I know. It's unbelievable. It really is crazy. But, if you're a buyer, I say this every week, get out, make offers, don't give up. You never know when the one's going to hit. So you just keep on keeping on. But, yes, 1,950 single-family homes. 662 were sold in the last 7 days, which means that's over 2,800 for the month. So we have less than a month's supply. It's challenging. It makes it difficult for you. But, again, don't give up. Fight the fight. There's 618 condos. There's still 57 manufactured homes, where a lot of folks poo-poo those, but there's some nice homes out there.
There is.
Yeah, real nice homes. So let me introduce you to Billy. I say this all the time. One of the good guys. I don't bring on jerks. So they're all good guys, but this is one of the genuine good guys. In Yiddish, we call him a mensch. This guy is a mensch's mensch. And I met Billy probably 7 years ago through VA Rep. And you've been a good friend, and you are one of the really good guys in this town. Everybody loves you, man.
Feelings mutual, my friend.
Thank you. We're going to talk a little bit about rebuilding together with Billy. He's the president of Nevada chapter, correct?
Southern Nevada, yes.
But first, I want to go back to this market. I got to tell you a story that happened yesterday.
Okay.
I get referred a buyer to me, and real nice guy. So I get him with Scott, as a matter of fact.
Okay, good.
And we're a veteran, and everything's. So we go out, we look at homes, and he wants to look for a couple days. So we looked last Monday. We went out again yesterday. I'm making a decision today. Find the most beautiful home, well within his budget.
Right.
$340,000. There's about 18 cards on the
18 cards. That's not bad, considering the market.
One day in the market.
Yeah.
So we know it's been seen. I'm explaining to him, again, how the market is and what he has to do. He said, no way, man. I'm not paying that. His daughter's with him. She says, it's $340. Why would anybody pay $340? And I'm explaining how we have to go over. This guy's getting hot.
He's angry.
He's getting angry.
He's getting sold by it.
Yeah,
right?
because the person that referred him to me bought a home, also a veteran, bought a home 2 years ago, and they were able to go with absolutely zero money out of pocket. I got them closing costs. They even got back their EMD. They got everything. So I'm trying to explain to him. He says, no, that's bullshit. He's really ticked off. And he's getting hot. He says, he calls his friend in Oakland, California, who bought a $600,000 home, also a veteran, paid no closing cost. I said, well, when did the guy buy it? He says, 2 years ago. I said, I'm trying to explain. Bottom line is, 2 years ago is like a whole different world.
I mean, listen, a year ago was a whole different world.
A year ago
today, we were just pushing over that curve, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And we were losing deals, and people were losing their jobs right now, right?
Yep.
Amazing how a year later, would you have ever guessed we'd be here today?
Never. Not in
I don't think anybody.
Nobody. No.
Nobody.
So people have to understand this is the market. If you don't want to buy a home now, then back off, come back in a year, and rates will be higher probably, prices will be higher.
I agree to that.
Or fight the fight and just keep plugging them in, and you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I think education, the realtor you hire is really, really important. I always say that, and you do, but it's way more now because to educate people on, they've been told all these years, don't do this, don't do that. But in this market, you have no choice but to fight that fight. But you got to put it in perspective for them, right? Like you did, where money's cheaper now.
Yeah.
Every 1% of interest rate is 12% a house. So they're worried about this little bit of money, but I'm more worried about the interest rate increase on my personal investments than that, right? Of course you don't want to overpay because that's what everybody's scared about. I've been through 04. We know what that felt like. But this is not 04.
No, it's not.
There's a whole big difference. We can go on for a whole day about that. But the one main point, the difference between now and then was back then it was 10 people, one person buying 10 homes as investments, upside down, negative cash flow. I had a house the other day in North Las Vegas that we had 42 offers on my listing. 42 offers.
Yeah.
80% of them are owner-occupied, like trying to move into this house. And I had stories and stories of people of why they need that house. And it hurt my heart for every one of them,
Sure.
right? They ended up going, and it didn't close yet, so I'm not going to say exacts, but it went over $40,000 above appraisal, and they paid cash. And it was somebody from the Air Force Base.
Yeah.
So that's happening to these us, the regular people. It's not just the wealthy that are doing
No,
this. This
no.
is the regular mom and pop people that just need places to live. And then you're competing with the hedge funds. I'm not going to name any, but one of the agents in town that handles them said that they own 6,000 homes here, and they're buying everything under 600.
Really?
So that's not only are we competing with those people,
Yeah.
they made an asset class for real estate over the last years. It didn't exist back then, right? For buy and hold. Then you got the iBuyers. You know what I mean? So you're
iBuyers,
taking
yeah.
this small amount of homes and you're dividing it up, and these poor people that don't have the cash are fighting the fight. Right?
That's who I
Yeah.
feel worse for.
Yeah.
I go out. took out a veteran yesterday, a
Yeah.
Marine.
Yeah.
And
Hoorah.
he has no extra cash. He can pay for his closing costs. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't. I hate to tell the guy. I actually told him already.
Yeah.
First of all, I told him make sure you do not let this lease go.
Yeah.
And I was frank with him. You probably aren't going to be able to. It's going to be challenged. We put an offer in last night, and we'll keep doing it. But it's just a tough one, man.
It's tough. I mean, listen, the pendulum swings. We all know that, right? So right now it's totally in the seller side, and it's going to be like that through the summer.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully, it loosens up a little bit toward the end of the summer when buyer activity slows down and maybe rates go up a little bit and it brings out. And then, but the other day I called up for a client for a couple KB homes in the Southwest and a couple other homes. They had a 300-person waiting list on those homes.
Oh, I've got 3 people right
Yeah.
now on the waiting list. Actually, I
Yeah.
got one that they're doing a drawing.
Yeah.
Back to the lotteries.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yes.
the drawing on I think May 15th, and it's just it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. And
Yeah.
like you, I do a lot of veteran business.
Yes.
And for them, it makes me a little more.
More aggressive. Yeah,
yeah.
You want to do more, but there's only
Yeah.
so much you could
There
do,
is.
right? But like you said before, don't give up. If you're out there and you're in this, I've had success stories, right? And I know you have. For every one that we lose, there's something out there that's going to pop up, and there's certain situations where maybe a seller, and I've had this happen, where they appreciate military
Oh.
or something like that, and
Yeah.
they'll accept your offer even at a lesser price because they had some kind of heartfelt
Yes.
attachment, right?
I've had that happen too. And this
Yeah.
town is a military town.
Yes.
And for those who aren't living in Las Vegas, we're a military town.
We are. We are one of the highest percentage per population of veteran military in
Really?
the country. Yeah.
Well, there's over a quarter million retarees.
Yes.
You had 40,000 more Nellis, 10, 12 of Creech.
And Nellis and Creech are growing. They're
Yeah.
going to go another 20, 30% over
I
the
know
years,
it,
right?
I
So,
know
yeah, listen, we're going to have I'm interested here. Can I come back in a year from now?
I would love it,
And I
man.
want to have
Yes.
a flashback to
You got
what we're
it.
talking about.
Yeah. Yes.
But listen, for you realtors out there, keep grinding. It's hard. It's hard. But that's what makes you stick out, right? Anybody could have made, I'm saying this honestly, anybody can make money on an up market over the last decade, right? Like if you just do the certain things. But the smart people that hang in there in these times and figure things out and adjust and adapt and overcome, like we say in the Marines, will be happy at the end of that when things turn, because they will, and you're set up in a great position. So don't give up. I know it's frustrating. Or you might say, hey, this wasn't for me, right? I thought it was something and it's something else, and then you get a steady job. But you'll figure out your goals and where you want to be through this market, because it's going to be interesting moving forward. But I believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And sellers, if you're out there, it's a time to consider that move up, move down. Even though it's hard, there's an opportunity there with a lease back or something like that. There are options out there for you, or even like just get an Airbnb for a couple months while you're doing that.
Right,
you know?
that's the thought
You
too.
know?
But leasebacks,
Yeah.
we saw them once in a blue moon a year ago.
Yeah.
It's in almost every list. It's all over
Everything,
the place. Yeah.
right?
I mean,
And the buyers have to accept it to get the deal, right?
don't have a choice.
I've even had sellers do it like they're asking for free lease backs,
Yes. Oh,
right?
I've had that happen.
And no security deposit. It's a little risky. And in the beginning with the no eviction thing, that was a little bit of it was a big risk because they become the tenant basically, even though you're doing occupancy.
That's
So,
right.
but I feel better about it today than I did 6 months ago. But those are things that you deal with in a market like this, where the
listen,
seller.
I got to get your opinion on this because everybody's got an opinion on this one.
Yeah.
A lot of folks believe that when the moratorium was totally lifted,
Yeah.
because it's not yet.
Yes.
It's supposed to be lifted on May
Yes,
1st
yes,
with
yes.
a month of a month grace or something.
Yes.
That we're going to see a lot of influx of inventory. I don't believe it. Do
So,
you?
my personal opinion, and Nobody knows. That's the answer. We don't have a
Nobody
book for
knows.
this, right?
Right.
My opinion is, think about this. They've been not paying for, say, a year, right? How much is your payment? 1,000, 2,000? We've been going up 1% a month. So their value is going up more than what they're putting on the back end, right? So there's equity there. So even if they were in a bad time, they have the equity there to sell it without foreclosing, right? Most of them will get worked out where they'll throw it on the back and they could stay, and they'll have the jobs are coming back right now, right?
Yes.
We're opening up. I mean, it's great to hear that we have conventions coming back, because
Yes.
tourism's one thing, but people don't realize our number 2 job maker is conventions.
The furniture show just is wrapping up now.
Yeah, and then we have the one in June that was the first major one at the
concrete,
convention.
yeah.
I mean, listen, we built this amazing, beautiful, updated convention center, and then they shut down, right? So we're competing around the world now. We have the state-of-the-art. We're in a great position. I'm very excited to be in Vegas right now, today. Even though people don't see the light yet, I think we're going to have the Roaring '20s back here again
I
for
firmly
a long
believe that.
time.
Yep.
You know?
I'm real bullish in this town,
Yeah.
man. And I believe that
Yeah.
Roaring 20 comment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. We're getting hockey players, football. You know, we got so much. People are going to want to travel like no other, and they're going to want to stay in the United States because there still is that risk.
That's right.
And I think that Vegas will be, instead of once every couple of years, it'll be twice in a year, right? If not more, if they're in Cali or something like that. And we will have the prices go up. You're going to get better, more people spending money on the things that we need, like the gaming and all that, and the restaurants, and that trickles down into tips and all that. You know, so I'm excited for what's going to be. Listen. When I heard that the budget came out the other day and they had this doomsday budget planned, we were 65 million higher than they thought they would. Who could imagine when you shut down an entire city that our budget is better than everything?
No,
So
that's incredible. It really
we
is.
are amazing in Vegas. I remember when I moved here in 03, but I remember watching Vegas after 9/11, how it rebounded so quickly, and I was like, wow, they're pretty good. You know, when I moved out here and I saw how resilient we were after October 1st.
Yes.
But now we're really tested, and I think we're going to show the world that we don't mess with Vegas.
I do too.
You know what I
man.
mean?
I do
I'm
too.
excited. I'm excited.
You know, the Convention Authority changed their slogan. You heard the new slogan?
Yes. What is it now?
It used to be what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Now it is what happens in Vegas only happens in Vegas.
That's true.
It is a one-of-a-kind place.
Right.
All right, let's talk about rebuilding America, rebuilding together.
Yes,
And what
yes.
a great organization.
It sure is.
Fill us in.
So, backstory, I met Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada through being the president of VRAP in 2015. I met them because we realized collaboration is key in this town with helping veterans, right? So what Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada does, it's a national, Rebuilding Together is national, and we are the chapter in Las Vegas. And we help low-income homeowners, which unfortunately is elderly, veterans, just low-income people, and that's probably the median price, like say 50,000, a certain percentage of that per the HUD guidelines, which is a lot of people. We help with getting grants and fundraising for people in that situation that are homeowners that are in trouble, in need, right? For instance, they have a roof that needs repair, AC units. There's so many people without running hot water.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. You know, in our own world, we can imagine it's like that, but in this town, it's eye-opening to see what people don't have, and they just accept it for what it is. Or potentially, and you've been part of this, to go out and with the groups and help on the rebuilding days and volunteers. People, their husband might have passed away that was a veteran, and then the wife's left with the house, and she never did any of the work, and she doesn't have the ability to, being elderly. So we come in. How great is that as neighbors to come in with a group of people, and not only are we helping that person, we're showing the block that people care, right? And let's just face it, this country we're in right now, we could teach people one person at a time how to care about each other again, right? And there's no better way than doing it than shoveling some rock and painting some doors, because to me, time is worth more than anything, gold, right?
I can't tell you what a thrill I used to get when I go to those events, April and October. I mean, the emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are in a situation. They need some help.
Yeah.
And to see 30, 40, 50 guys and gals shoveling stone, painting fences, painting houses, and working together to help one veteran at a time. I looked on the site. You go one build at a time?
Yeah, one build at a time. So but going back, so on April 24th is our rebuilding day nationally. Locally, and in our Reno chapter, the governor actually made it rebuilding day this year, right?
Okay.
Which is cool, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing 15 homes in the middle of COVID. And we partner with all these different businesses and people, and then they volunteer their time on each individual house. So we'll go in and get grants for the stuff inside the house that, like the hard stuff, like the air conditioners and the roofs and all that. But then everybody from these volunteers come out and they do the outside, the landscaping, the rocks, the cutting back everything, the painting, all in one day. And 15 homes in one day in this valley, it's a great feeling.
That's incredible,
Yeah,
man.
I
I didn't realize it was 15 homes.
15 homes this year. And we usually do more, but obviously with COVID, we're limited, right?
Yeah.
But so listen, here's the hard thing for all nonprofits that really do great things. During COVID, we lost our ability to fundraise in the way that we used to. So I'm not just saying rebuilding together, but all those nonprofits that that do good things in your community, if you're doing well right now or you have a little bit extra money, donate to them because they're hurting. And there's more of a need for the nonprofits that are boots on the ground than other things that are outside of our area, right? I believe you volunteer or you donate to people locally that that money goes right to the street.
Right.
And I'll tell you, so imagine during COVID, especially the elderly and the veterans, there was nobody to help them. We were the first line of defense on that street because they were in their house stuck there. Nobody could help them. When we showed up there to help them, there was tears, right?
Yeah.
And we had to get money somewhere, right? So we were able to get some grants from Clark County, Henderson, North Las Vegas, and all that through the funds that came from the federal government. But we do need support from our local people. If you're interested in donating, please let me know. It would be great to get you involved out there on the rebuilding day on April 24th, or we do it again in October, which will probably be more people when we open up more with COVID.
Yeah.
But it's just great. Listen, we're blessed to be in a industry where we're doing well, right? And that's not a guarantee, but when you're doing well, I believe, and I know you're the same way, is you give back to the people, to the community that you serve, right? And you make money in. And if you don't do that, listen, nobody's ever died or gone broke by giving back to the people they help, right? So it's just a great feeling. You can go to bed at night, and shoveling some rocks isn't a bad exercise, right?
Heck, not at all, man. But you're right. For those that don't give back, I'll say it. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Because if you're fortunate,
I'll call you
to have
out,
some,
right? Yeah.
Give back, man.
Yeah.
You never know when you may need a little help.
Listen, and by default, when I give back, I get business from it.
Oh, Billy.
I don't do it that way.
I know you.
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's karma.
Yes. People want to work and play with
And
people.
I
they
know
like.
you and
Yeah.
I. We don't give our time thinking, if I give karma, we do it because we know
Right.
it's the right thing.
Right.
And we have been blessed.
Yes.
And what's wrong with giving back?
And that's the way, listen, forget about the government, forget about politics. Right here on the street, on this level, we could change things in this country back to the way it should be, where we agree to things. And that's one thing we could all agree on, is helping the people that need.
That's right.
Right? So we can get rid of all the other barriers that day, and we could probably retrain ourselves that, hey, it's not
As
so
long
bad.
as we keep the
Right.
politicians out of it.
That's out, right? Yeah, I mean, well, as long as they give us the grants, we're
That's
good,
it,
right?
that's
But
it,
other
that's
than
the
that, right? Yeah.
extent
So,
of it, yeah.
but the truth is, we control that narrative, right? And we can make it in a positive, and hopefully the media takes that out in a positive way, because I'm so sick of the negative out there, right? Let's do some positive
Yes,
and show the world
yes.
how that's done, right?
Well, the media will be there on the 24th.
Yes, the media will be there, and it's a great thing. I think that we need to see more things and teach. Not only are we teaching us and the people around us, the next generation,
Yes.
our kids, they need to see more examples. We need to be leaders, right?
Yeah.
We should not be failing on our watch, right? Because it's our legacy,
That's right.
And people need it right now.
We've had events with the Rebuilding Together where the people have brought their kids.
Yes.
And some of them have brought their kids specifically for that reason, to show the kids this is what you do to help out other people.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have anything like that when growing up. I didn't have a connection like that, but I always
Neither did
wanted
I.
to. And when I found this, I'm like, wow, I wish I would have had this one, but I have it now, and I'm going to teach my kids how to give back. And also, they have the things that maybe I didn't have when I was a kid, and I want to make sure they appreciate what they don't have. Like we do at VREP on the Christmas and all that
Right.
stuff, right? So it's just great all around. There's no better feeling. And, whether it be this organization or another, get yourself involved with something that's giving back in your community. We need it right now. We need you guys.
Well said, and
Yeah.
so true. Get involved,
Yeah.
give back a little bit, help out. That's great, man. Well, I want to talk about something else that I get a kick out of. I never knew about it until I met you.
Oh, what's that?
The challenge coin.
Oh,
For those of you that aren't aware, we'll talk about it, just what it is in a minute, but you gave me my first VA Rep challenge, my first challenge coin, period.
wow.
And,
That's an honor.
Well, you were president of VA Rep at the time.
Yep.
And that's when I met you. I met you guys down at the Swick Center
Oh,
You
wow.
had-
Yeah,
when
Switch. We
Rudy
had our,
was
yeah,
speaking.
yeah. We
That
had
was the first
Rudy,
time I
Rudy,
came- yeah.
Rudy, right?
That was great. And I felt, I mean, just that one meeting was like, wow, this is great, and I got to get involved in this group.
That was
And when was
Fun.
that, 15, 16?
16 probably.
16.
Yeah, probably 16. Yep.
Yeah,
And that was, so what we were doing, with VA Rep, we do forward-facing to the public, and that's what that was. We were educating people on their home buying opportunities using the VA home loan benefits. We also teach realtors how to understand the VA home loan and to make sure that they're taking care of these veterans and using it right and understanding that, because that's a big part of our cleaning up our
Sure.
own industry.
Yep.
But that was forward-facing, and we brought in people. We had a great room. Rudy spoke, from Notre Dame.
Yep.
The real Rudy, not the one on TV. But what's great I remember from that is the camaraderie that we built. And listen, we're all competing salespeople, right? But the great thing that we were able to do with VA Rep is to put the mission first and be able to put aside our differences and not in the sales part, which is always annoying, right? Every realtor's the best, right? To help people that need it. And I remember one person there that day. She was a homeless veteran prior to that, and she was working her way up. And through our education, I didn't sell her the house, but somebody did. She became a homeowner, and there's no better feeling than doing that.
No,
And,
you're absolutely right.
So one person, one veteran at a time.
One
but
veteran
it
at a
spreads,
time.
my man. It spreads.
does.
Good things spread just as much as bad things.
I
but
was
let's
at a
keep it,
party before I ever met VA Rep or heard of a challenge
Yeah.
coin, and somebody actually pulled one out of their pocket
Yep.
and slammed it on the table. And these guys were all drunk. Oh my God! Another guy slammed this after, and I thought there was going to be a fight. And they explained to me what it was.
Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
Okay. Do I have time to tell?
Yes,
All
you
right.
got time.
All
Of
right.
course.
So, a challenge coin. I'm going to tell you the story that I was told, and this is what I was told. So, if it veers off of that, so be it. But I'm going to tell you what I am aware of. So, back in World War I, there was a pilot that flew one of the things into enemy territory, and he crashed. He got knocked down, and he became a prisoner of war with the Germans. He eventually escaped and made it over the French border to the Allies, and they found the French, and he was basically shipped down to nothing from them, but he had this medallion on his neck. So they were about to execute him because they thought he was a spy, right? Because they couldn't tell, they didn't speak the language. But before they executed him, they saw this challenge coin, or it was copper at the time. It was a coin on his neck that he had made, and for his squadron before he left. And they looked at it and noticed it was American. So they were like, wait, don't kill him. So they found out that he was American, and they saved his life.
Yeah.
Play that forward. Because of that, it started spreading throughout the services, where they all started making their own coins for their own units. And it was really amazing, right? Because it was a level. When you hand somebody a challenge coin, you put it in their hand, you slap it in there, and that's a sign of respect. They respect you, you respect each other, and it's an honor to get that to this day. But play it forward, now, not only do military have it, you see in the police and the fire, all camaraderie is built throughout different organizations. I've seen it even in small businesses now, they're using that, and veterans, and it means something, right? But it also means, where you probably got, if you're at the bar and somebody slaps it down and you don't have yours, guess who's buying that round,
buying
right?
the round.
So you always have it on you in
But
your
if
pocket.
you have
right?
it, then they're buying
But
it.
if you have it and they call you out, they're buying that round. So you got to be very careful. But it's just cool to have some history there. And before I knew the history, it was like, oh, it's a coin. But now it means a lot more. And you'll see a lot of different coins out there. And I collect coins when I get them, and it's like a trading
Sure.
thing.
I never leave home without it.
Yeah,
I've
well, I
always
have here.
carried- yeah.
It's funny. He didn't tell me that we were having this, and he's like, "Oh, your coin." I'm like, "Shh, got it." Here you
He
go.
pulled it right out.
Yeah, yeah.
I gave it to a veteran one time. This is not long ago, in the closing room.
Yeah,
And he was an older guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he heard of it.
Yeah.
He had never had one. When I gave this to him, he sat there and looked it over. He welled up. He was so he never thought he said, I never thought anyone would give me one.
it's
It was
worth
something.
more than gold to some people,
You
right?
better
It's
believe it.
about respect, and you did something right in life when
I
somebody gave
love
that to you,
giving them
right?
out,
You know,
man.
there's no better feeling, and
No.
it could be bad. It could be worse to get something positive in your pocket.
Right.
Like somebody cared enough about you to think that you were that good to give it to you.
That's right. That was great.
Right?
So, challenge coin.
Yeah,
Look out for yours.
Yeah.
You can't see it here, but
do good things.
It's
We'll
cool,
we'll
man.
bring them to you.
there
Yeah.
you go. Do good things.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right, man. Well, I got to tell you, this has been fun.
I appreciate you bringing me on,
Oh,
man.
man,
Like-
Billy, I'll say it again. You're one of the great guys in this town. Everybody loves you. You're involved in our, not only in our community, you're involved in the real estate community. You're active and giving back. You do it all the time.
It's the least we could do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody should pull their weight, but I believe it takes a village, and I am blessed to be around friends like you that believe in that. We could still be in different companies, but we don't care what sign we
No.
hold. It's who you
No.
are behind it,
That's right.
and we can make a difference. Listen, as realtors, we should be out there showing the people that we care, and it's not about sales and commissions. Of course, we got to pay our bills, but people like this, by Ellie, he's the example of what we should be and why, moving forward, that should be a requirement for realtors to go out there and do it.
I
you
agree.
know?
Hey, before we leave, if anybody wants to get involved with Rebuilding Together, how can they get a hold of you?
702-250-1090. That's 702-250-1090. I'd be happy to have volunteers if you're interested in board spots or anything like that, or just fundraising. We always need the help for that. So I'd appreciate that.
All right,
you know.
great, Billy. Thank you again, my friend.
Thank you.
I sure appreciate
You
you.
be safe out there, my friend.
You too. Listen, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with Joel Schwartz, a realtor from Detroit. We're going to talk about the Detroit market a little further. And have a great, safe week. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.